Join us for the Shed Sales Summit, September 22nd in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to have a fun-filled day, including Steve Robinson, the former CMO of Chick-fil-A. You won't want to miss this event. Tickets are on sale now at ShedSalesSummit.com. We hope to see you there. This episode is sponsored by JMag. For more than 10 years, JMag has proudly served the shed industry, helping dealers and manufacturers grow through rent-to-own solutions. What makes them different isn't just what they do, it's how they do it. JMag focuses exclusively on the shed industry. That means every decision that's made, every relationship that's built, and every solution created is designed with shed companies in mind. JMag offers more than monthly payment options for your customers. They're your pit crew. Whether you need support, guidance, or someone to help you navigate challenges, they're ready to jump in and help. Keep your business firing on all cylinders. When you're ready to take your business to the next level, drive with JMag. Go to jmagllc.com to learn more. And again, we would like to thank JMag for not only sponsoring this, but also being a great help to the shed industry and moving the industry forward. And welcome back to another episode of the Simply Shed Talk Show, where we come to you live from the shed industry. We have some exciting stuff in store for you today. But of course, really quickly, before we introduce ourselves, a quick way to follow and get notified when we go live. And that is, we have the Simply Shed Talk Facebook page. You can go there, follow it, turn the notifications on, and you will get notified when we go live Thursdays at 10 a.m. Also, follow us on YouTube, Simply Shed Talk on YouTube, and all the other cool Facebook groups that allow us to share this to their groups. We appreciate you guys. Without further ado, welcome back. Of course, I am your host, Andrew Boyle, along with Peter Miller today.
Yes, and thank you guys for tuning in again. We are looking forward to today and what we have in store for you. Man, times are moving right along. It's hot. The summer is upon us. You may have a slump in sales. You may have a who knows, a fireworks type of sale going on, killing it. Andrew doesn't like that analogy too awful much, but hey, if you guys are up or you're down, don't worry. Just stay consistent. Stay consistent in your sales. And one of the things that we're looking forward to is this coming September, getting to see all of you guys and being able to, I don't know, it's almost like church. You know, you get together and it's like it's great to have everybody all together and see everybody again. And hopefully we can garner something from not just the Shed Sales Summit, but the NSRA as well and the Shed Builder Expo all combined together. Looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. Today we have a special guest with us, but really quickly, this is a live show, so we might mess up, we might say the wrong things. It is live, so if you want to ask a question, join the conversation, say hi, whatever you would like to do, there's a couple different options. You can click the link in the description. That will pull you up on stage with us, and you can introduce yourself, ask a question, give us a comment. Whatever you would like. Also, if you comment on wherever you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you can comment. We will see that comment live, so you can ask your questions that way, or you can always text us, email us, whatever you would like. But without further ado, we have a special guest with us. I'm going to bring him on stage here in just a second. But today we are going to be talking about some events in September. We're not going to necessarily talk about the Shed Sales Summit, Peter.
Okay.
But we have a special guest with us. There we go. Timothy,
There he is.
It's good to have you.
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Peter. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, anytime. Thanks for taking the time to hop on here. And like I said, this is live. We don't have any way of take backs or anything. So if I embarrass myself or anybody embarrasses themselves, everybody gets to see it live right there on Facebook or YouTube.
There we go.
So today we're
Timothy,
going to be talking about we're going to talk about the some of the events in September. One of those being that I'm really excited about is the NSRA. I'm excited. I went to actually the NSRA like a long time ago, and this will be my kind of my first one back, and I am super excited. I didn't go last year. Don't hate me, but I kind of snuck in at the end, and I was like, man, I wish I'd have gone. To this. Like, it was totally different than what I was thinking. And you guys had the motivational speaker up there, and I was like, man, this was really cool. So I am not missing this. I've actually already bought my ticket. I'm actually bought a sponsorship as well because I really believe in what you guys are doing, what the NSRA is doing, helping the industry. So I'm excited to talk about some details about it today. But if you're on the fence like me and you're like, I don't know if like I was yet last year, buy the ticket, show up. It's more than just stuff about the industry. It's motivational, it's fun, it's community.
Well, I want to interject there real quick if I can. And Timothy, you can correct me because I went last year, but it's more than just a ticket. It's a membership, if I understand right. You can at least purchase a membership
Yes.
as
So
part of that.
the best way to be a part of the NSRA, and for those that don't know, that's the National Shed Rental Association. And it's an association was started back in 2009 just for this industry. So it is very specific. It is rent own, it is sheds. And you mentioned a few minutes ago, Peter, you said that, it's kind of like, church, or the analogy has been used of the shed industry, the NSRA conference, and the Shed Sales Summit. It's kind of like a family reunion, right? It's everybody comes together, and you might be a competitor on Thursday, but on Monday and Tuesday, it's family. And it's one of the things that I love about this association and about this industry is the relationships and connections. It is so cool. And Andrew, don't worry, it won't be boring. I've been with the association now since it first started. Watson Barn Rentals, the rent-own company that I work for as director of operations, was one of the companies that, together with Leland Ulrich in Texas and several others, started the association because we saw an opportunity in this industry to make a difference, to help pull it together, to help rental businesses get stronger, more profitable, and more professional. And that is one of the things. If you go to our website, theNSRA.com, you can go to the About Us, and you can see we actually have a code of ethics. And so you said, Peter, get a ticket, get a membership. If you're a member, you agree that you're going to, do business in a professional manner. And, we have on our board is our legal representative, Nick Gerard, and he helps us stay between all the lines in all the states. And it is, it's something, if you can't tell already, it's something I am passionate about. I've been in the shed industry for over 25 years and worked in pretty much every aspect of it, from building sheds, hauling sheds, repoing sheds, selling sheds, answering the phone, customer service with rent-own. And so it's something I've been immersed in for more than half my life.
So I got a question, Timothy, because I went for the first time last year. And my question would be is kind of, if somebody has never gone before, can you kind of give just a kind of brief overlay of what the NSRA, what that conference looks like, and then what that would be for a new attendee? And then is there something different for somebody that maybe has come like Andrew back years ago versus then versus now, what that would look like just a little bit?
Yes. So when the association first formed, it was a couple of companies, and we were meeting, there was 30 people, 100 people, and we pulled together some speakers. But like anything, when you're starting it out early, you're figuring it out. You're establishing the organization. And if you would have been to a NSRA, which years ago it was called the NBSRA, we rebranded it, sort of changed the terminology. Not many people call them barns anymore. They call them sheds. So it was the National Barn and Storage Rental Association. We simplified it to the National Shed Rental Association. And it kind of felt like, it was a conference. It was just, there were some speakers, we talked, but it really, you had to kind of look for what am I pulling out of this? And about 4 years ago, I think it was, we sat down for 2 days in Texas, and a board of directors was formed. There's a dozen competitors in the industry that all got together and said, where do we want this to go? What is our mission? How can we do this better? How can we deliver value to this industry? And I've been sitting on that board for a couple of years currently as the vice chair. And if you attend, you're a new person, you walk in the room, you're going to immediately feel that sense of connection, of networking. We start out this year, we're doing our scheduling a little bit different. We're starting Monday afternoon, and we're going to have some breakouts. We're going to have a main stage speaker, and there's networking time that's built into that. So it really is, the cool thing about it is focused on rent to own. So we don't at this point have, materials, sales, lumber, hardware, those kind of people presenting. It really is about rent to own. And I'm really excited with this schedule this year. So we're starting Monday, then Tuesday morning we come back. We're going to have some more breakouts. We're back on the main stage, and we changed the schedule because we're ending at noon on Tuesday so that folks have a little bit of a refresh break and they can go to the Shed Sale Summit in the afternoon. And the reason I bring that up is it's really cool because it is a partnership. You have sales and you have rent to own. And, I've heard salespeople say before, they're like, well, I mean, why do I want to do anything with rent to own? Well, rent to own is another sale.
Right.
If you're the
Right.
salesperson, rent to own's another sale, and it might be a sale that you wouldn't have gotten if that customer doesn't have the finances to be able to outright purchase the shed, but they can do it on rent to own.
Right.
You as a salesperson, it's a sale. So it is very specific. It is, at this event, we have companies in the industry that do software and services that are a part of it. We've had sessions in the past where we had haulers up on the stage. Hey, talk to us, share your perspective, your side of it, because shed hauling's a part of rent to own. And, somebody's got to deliver the shed to our rental customer. Somebody's got to go pick it up if they stop paying for it or they're done with it, and bring it back. And so when I think of the NSRA, it's kind of like not saying it's the hub, meaning it's the center, it's the most important piece, but it is a connecting point for all of, you have the sales, you have the hauling, you have finance and lending, you have all these pieces, and they kind of flow through rent to own. And that's what this association's for.
So if you could kind of walk us through the schedule and what you can give us. I know you said it starts Monday. What is like an overview of the schedule? What could people expect? What time does it start on Monday? And then I know it ends at noon on
It ends on
Tuesday.
noon on
But
Tuesday.
you kind of give an overview of the schedule.
Well, again, this is live, so you catch, all the mistakes. I actually don't have the agenda in front of me, and that's a mistake. I'm getting ready to take a little vacation with my son, so I'm here in my camper, and I don't have the agenda in front of me. But it starts, I believe, at 4 p.m. There's registration time. beforehand. There's going to be a little bit of networking as people are gathering together. And then we're going to go to a set of breakouts. So there's going to be 4 unique breakouts that are going on. And you'll be able to choose. That will be, as we get a little closer to the event, we're going to have a full agenda that has everything listed out. Right now, we're highlighting some of the main speakers, but we don't have specific set times yet for which breakout's going to be when. But there'll be a
Right.
session of breakouts. They're usually about 45 minutes. And then afterwards, we're going to come back into the main room, and we're going to have a keynote speaker. One of the guys who's going to be speaking this year, I don't know if you've ever heard of Carlos Whitaker, and he's a pretty cool guy. I'm really excited to hear from him. He did a little study, if you would call it that, and for I think it was 7 weeks, no screens, no phones, no computers, no nothing. And it's kind of funny because here we are, we're on our computers, we're on our phones, and we're talking. They're an important tool. They're how we do business. They're how we communicate with each other. But it was kind of one of those things. He was like, I think one of his sayings is, how to become human. Like you'd start to lose touch with that. And that kind of brings me to the theme this year, without getting sidetracked, Andrew, from what you asked there. Our theme is becoming. So last year it was belong. You belong, people first. This year it's becoming. And who are you becoming as a leader? Who is your company becoming? And that's the challenge that we're putting in front of everyone. And
Right.
underneath that, there's 3 words: curious, courageous, and clear. And so we're going to be looking at those 3 sections of curious. We think that the best companies never stop asking questions.
Mhm.
And we're creating a space where people can ask the questions that they don't normally get to ask. Monday evening, after the main stage speaker, then we're going to have dinner, and there's going to be time for networking amongst that. If you're not a member, become a member. There's more than likely going to be a VIP event after the dinner, and a chance to spend some time with the other members, spend some time with speakers. We may even have a special speaker that's just at the VIP event. That I was talking to Kyle Summers and Craig Felker last week about that possibility. So I haven't quite nailed that down if that's going to happen. But if you
Well,
want
one
to
of the
become a
things that-
member, go ahead.
I'm sorry. One of the things I was going to say on a VIP session, this is one things that I've learned from my experience. Those get kind of, how can I say, granular. You can get really deep into something that you learn a lot from a main stage. You learn a lot from a breakout. But when you get in that VIP session, a lot of times you can get into a spot where you've never been before. And if it sounds like member opportunity to put yourself in a spot where you possibly could have never been or never would be, and it could take your business to the next level by going to that VIP session. Now I know when I sat around last year and listened in the VIP session, I was like, man, all those people who didn't get to be in this part of it, who weren't part of the VIP session, it was like, man, I feel bad because it was just so good. It was like, man, that was one of my aha moments from last year. And I just am going to put a plug there. If you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go, but I don't want to spend the extra money to be a VIP or go to that type of thing, do it. Invest in yourself on that. That's going to be a big part of what you can do different in your business. I mean, think about it. We invest in tools. We invest in, you get a certain truck as a hauler to be able to do something. You invest in software. You invest in training. You invest in all these different things. But invest in yourself just a little bit on this, so that way you can use it for the rest of your career and the rest of your life.
Absolutely. I love that. And the cool thing with the NSRA, if you're a member, you get to come to the VIP. That's what you got to be. You can attend the conference and not be a member. Now, you get the best ticket price if you're a member. You get access to the other um, resources that are just for members. Just yesterday, I think it was, Nick Gerard did a 1 hour webinar on how to work through bankruptcies. And if you remember, it was free. And several people from my office, sat in that. And the report that I got back from it was really good. I didn't have an opportunity to watch it myself, but that's one of those things. And in talking to Nick, he's going to be doing more of those. It's part of it. Be a member, you get to be there. Last year, if you remember, you got to shake hands and get your picture with John Deloney. And that was really cool. And standing there helping with that and hearing some of the conversations you said, sometimes you get those nuggets in a VIP experience because there's fewer people. It's a little more personal connection. And listening to some of the comments and conversations, it's like, yeah, this is something. If I didn't go to this, I'd be sad I missed it.
Yes.
So with the membership, can you expound a little bit on what the membership includes? We know it includes discounted rates, VIP sessions, but throughout the year, you mentioned something about a webinar. What are some of the benefits people would see with being a member of the NSRA?
That is something that we are still building out, but currently there's several things. If you're a member, let's say you're coming in September, and I think you should. If you haven't gotten your ticket, go get it. You're going to miss it if you're not there. But let's say you can't bring your whole team. Well, as a member, you have the resource. You can go back. We record our sessions. So you have past year's events. Those are there recorded. We have a whole session of videos that I don't know if you've ever heard the name Ed Wynn before. Probably have if you've been around rent to own. He was sort of known as the godfather of rent to own, as it were. Very involved with Shed Rent to Own from the very beginning as it developed. And we have a whole library of sessions that he did on talking about different topics, how to deal with different situations. As we're building out the member benefits, there's going to be libraries. As a member, you have access to, you can see who all the other members are. I want to call him and talk to him about something. There's different providers that have offered. If you're a member, you get, you can have a 30-minute phone conversation, for free about, call and ask him a question. There's also, like I said, Nick did that webinar. He's got a list of more that he's going to be doing. Also, something really cool. I think it just hit the emails yesterday. We're doing another industry survey. We did one years ago. And it's a little hard to get this with rent-to-own companies, because everybody's like, well, I don't want to tell you all my numbers and all this stuff. But if I don't know sort of the benchmarks of the industry, how do I know how I'm doing? And so we have a third party. Nobody from the NSRA board sees this. This company has actually worked with APRO, the Association for Progressive Rental Organizations, the rent to own at large in the US, and they do their industry survey. And a couple of years ago, we started some conversations and they said, yeah, we'd be happy to do one for you. So the request just went out to the emails for people to fill it in, answer the questions. Like I said, it's anonymous, it's third party. We don't ever see that information. But as a member, you get access to that survey results. So you get to see how's the industry doing, how it has changed, because granted, the shed industry's changed a lot over the last 10 years. We had COVID, 5 years ago, and things just went nuts. And all you had to do to sell a shed was have a shed. And then it's changed. It's different. Marketing looks different. How you're connecting with your customers, how they're finding you and communicating, and even how they're buying sheds, that's changed. And so something like this survey is a great way to kind of put your finger on the pulse, what's going on out there.
Sure. So if somebody's watching this, what is it? Where do they go to get a ticket? How do they register? Do they have to be can they get a ticket and not be a member? Can they get a ticket and then become a member? Does it show that? How does that work for this?
Yes. So you go to theNSRA.com. And if you go to NSRA.com, I think it's the National Street Rod Association or something. So if you get to street rod cars, you forgot the. So theNSRA.com. And when you pull it up, front and center, get a ticket, register. It's right there. That's also where you can sponsor. So you click on that link and then you'll be able to fill it out. If you're not a member, you have that option to become a member. And I highly recommend it. We tried to make the member value a really good proposition, even if it comes to just saying, I've never been a part, but I really, I'm hearing about this. I heard about last year. I think I want to go to this conference. Becoming a member is just a little bit more than just getting a ticket if you're not a member. So it's well worth, go ahead, become a member. And then, you get, if you have any questions, the NSRA has a guy on staff, Justin, and he is attentive to emails and communication. You can email him at info@theNSRA.com. Let me just double check that because I don't want to get that wrong.
So Justin will be able to answer any questions you email. If you have a question about rent to own or anything like that, he can point you in the right direction if he doesn't have the answer.
Yes.
Nice.
I'll often get a text or an email from Justin. Hey, this question came up. Just check and make sure I'm answering it correctly. And by the way, I did confirm it is info@theNSRA.com. So it's our website with info in front of it. But yes, Justin's there. He can answer questions if you're having trouble with registration. If you're not sure, maybe you were a member last year and you're like, I don't know, did it renew? Do I have to do anything? He can help you with that. If you've got questions about getting a ticket, if you want to become a sponsor and you're having an issue not able to sign up for the sponsorship you want, or if you have a question, hey, I've got this question, who do I need to talk to? He sits with us in our board meetings. He's kind of our executive director, as it were. And so he's helping keep tabs on all of that and is very attentive to responding and connecting.
Nice. And you said sponsorships. That's one of the things that I think if you're out there in this and you're taking advantage, let's just say, of a rent to own program, and maybe you're thinking about maybe you are a rent to own provider and you want to get your name out there to other people or be just a part of that association. If you're not a member or you haven't sponsored, why not do it now? That would be my question.
It's a great place. If you think about it, if your company serves the industry, this is where the decision makers are, right? This event, this conference, these are the owners, the VPs, the CEOs of all of these pieces of the industry that are connected to rent to own. They're there. These are the decision makers. Sponsorship isn't buying a banner. It's investing in a relationship. It's saying, here's my company and I'm putting myself out here to the industry. I've got something to offer. I've got, a service. I've got a software. I've got a shed hauling company. I've got a rent to own company, and I'm here for the industry. And I know, as a company that has sponsored many years at this conference, it's one of those things that it's worthwhile putting money into. And, taking those calls throughout the year, people calling in saying, hey, I met you at the conference. I saw you sponsored. I have this question. Can you help me with this? And that's the cool thing about this association. There's so many people that are willing to take their call, and you can be their competitor and call and say, I have a question. I've got this situation. What do you think? And I could list off a dozen names that they would be like, yeah.
That's the great thing about the shed industry is the rent to own industry, shed industry. Like you can be direct competitors and you can still be friends,
Absolutely.
share ideas. And it's just a unique industry. And I think people that have been in it their whole life and don't know anything else, this is not what the rest of the retail world or the business world is like. But this is a great industry. And if you're out there, support it. Buy a ticket, sponsor it, show your support. I know we had done some with this event. We're kind of in the same room. And so a lot of the organizing was like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And one thing I have to say about Timothy, Craig, Kyle, and the whole NSRA team is they put a lot of thought and effort into this, into what size is the room, how's it going to feel. Every detail. It's not just like, hey, let's have a event and it is what it is. They put a lot of time, effort, planning into this event. Show your support. Go out, get a ticket. And I actually just remembered I have to get a ticket for my my guy that works with me in the office here. I forgot all about that. So I'm gonna have to go after this call to theNSRA.com and buy a ticket. But buy a ticket, join it. Even if you're not necessarily doing your own rent zone, just come support the industry. Especially with the Monday night thing, with having the dinner and the community and just hanging out with the people. Just show your support. That's all we ask.
Timothy, what would you say would be your last, I guess, one of the last things you would parting? Because we don't like to keep people too long on here, but appreciate you stopping your middle of what you're doing to be able to get on here. But
during your vacation.
Exactly. What would you love to say to everybody listening?
This is something that's really important to me, and it kind of piggybacks on the theme from last year's conference. People are the most important part of business, right? Businesses don't change because they attend conferences, but businesses change because their leaders do. And I have been at conferences over my lifetime so many times that I've walked away, and it's not about like, oh, well, I know how to do this now, but it's a paradigm shift. It is the perspective that I have on the world, that I have on business, that I have on relationships. It shifts and it impacts your life. And there's so many times I've walked away from a conference that I may have spent hundreds of dollars to attend and go, absolutely worth it. I'd do it again tomorrow, because it changed the way that I see people. It changed the way I see business. And it is well worth it. One of the speakers that's coming this year is going to be talking about tough conversations. And boy, I mean, we could have a whole show just talking about that, whether it's customers, employees, people you work with. And so I guess that would be my parting word. If you want your paradigm shifted, if you want your perspective changed, if you want to go away challenged, excited, encouraged, you made some new friends, you've got somebody you can call next week whenever something happened, you're like, I've never seen this before. What do I do? Well, I can call Andrew, I can call Peter, I can call, any list of these names and go, yeah, because there's a relationship there.
Yeah.
So be there in September, be there in Knoxville. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be exciting. It is a busy flow of the day. That we have time for networking, but we're not just sitting around twiddling our thumbs.
It's the breaking bread if you're eating over that dinner Monday night, or the sitting there and talking to somebody else, making that network connection that can change. I mean, the people that I've met, the stories that I've heard in those situations have absolutely changed the way and how I do business. And we look forward to seeing you guys. We look forward to seeing everybody who's going to attend. Thank you for joining us here on Simply Shed Talk. And we look forward to seeing you guys in September. Knoxville, Tennessee. It is the Makers Exchange. I think it's 710 Clinch Avenue. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Andrew, myself, or Timothy, or Justin at info@theNSRA.com. And we would be glad to help you out. And it's just been a pleasure having you here on today, Timothy.
Absolutely. Thank you both. Thank you, Andrew, Peter. And one more thing, anybody out there, if you are on Facebook, we've got a Facebook page for the NSRA. We're posting speaker highlights. We're posting sponsorship opportunities, pieces of the agenda. So if you missed something there, well, I'm not sure what he said, go over there. You can follow it. You can follow along and see what's happening.
And that's free too. Think about it.
It is
For all those
free.
people, think about it. I come from a family that's known for being very squeaky tight on spending money, but yeah, there's some people. Listen, take a little taste of that, and then get the entree, the main course, and go to the NSRA this year in September.
Absolutely. So excited to see you guys and looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Timothy. Come on.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Don't forget that is at the Makers Exchange, right inside of the Marriott Hotel, where usually everybody stays. Right, it's in that building. Is the convention center behind it. It is September 22nd. Go to the NSRA.
September 21st is the kickoff for the NSRA.
That's
Monday
absolutely right.
evening.
Monday
And
evening.
then-
It's a 2-day event.
2-day event. You come in and go Monday evening for the NSRA. That's going to be a really cool kickoff. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see you all there. And then Tuesday morning, right back up, bright and early to kick it off and keep it going for the second day.
And the Shed Sales Summit will be on Tuesday afternoon, that same conference area. Immediately following that, a little break, but following that, go to ShedSalesSummit.com for that. Also, real quick note, the National Shed Show we are hosting in February 22nd through 25th in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's going to be a great event for networking, exhibitors. Go to the map for booths is now available. We just posted it. You can go there, reserve your spot, get the best spot right there by the entrance. It is up now, nationalshedshow.com. We hope to see you guys there in February. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget, Simply Shed Talk has a new Facebook page. Go there, like it, turn the notifications on, get notified when we go live Thursdays at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for Timothy with the NSRA for joining us. We hope to see everybody in September. Thank you, guys.
Have a great week.